everybody, welcome to episode 14 of Building with Sand. Falchion here. It's currently Tuesday, January the 8th, 2013, and today we're going to work on the fort some more, and I feel like it's a running theme, but this is kind of a big build, so hopefully it's not going to take forever. I actually only foresee a couple more episodes and we'll be done with it. So standing here in the front, you may see that we've done some work. I mentioned before I didn't want to put anything really big flanking the door, so I ended up putting these little, I don't even know what you'd call them, but I think they add a little bit of depth to the front of the building. Changed up the little bit of the details. I don't remember if in the last episode the castle had, or the fort had all these loopholes, but now it does all the way around on all of the sides. Loopholes like crazy. I went and did some detail work, like you can see here on the edges. Just kind of try to break up the monotony of the regular sandstone with the other sandstone blocks, like I tend to do. And going inside, we'll take a little tour going around. So I'm still filling in all the arrows. Those are going to come. I put it in a little hidden crafting table here and an anvil. And then I'm filling these with armor. Leather over here and iron over there, which will happen eventually. There's nothing new in the barracks or the NCO quarters. I haven't got around to doing work here. The same for over here in the mess hall. I haven't got around to that yet. One of the big things I've been working on here is the store. We'll have carrots, potatoes over here and carrots over here. I'm going to put, I'm thinking pork chops over here. We have beef jerky. I don't recommend eating it. Actually have more to put in. A bunch of bread. Here's going to be tool chests to send the axes, picks, and shovels. And I really like how you can, I know it's been possible before, but I really like having chests on top of crafting tables. Never thought about them before. So over here we have the magazine, kind of a dangerous room. I did a bunch more of barrels, air quotes. Some with gunpowder and some with fire charges, and then, you know, TNT, of course. So that's the magazine. Over here in the courtyard, didn't do much, just cleaned up torches. I put in a light in the center to break it up. We have one training dummy. I wanted to have 3 of them, but there was nowhere good to put them that weren't going to be in the way of, you know, what would be the goings on in the fort. Nothing really new up top. All the crenellations are in. A couple more barrels and chests around. I ended up putting all of the walkways in the walls, so you can go all the way around the entire fort in the walls here now. And over here we have the watchtower. There's not a whole lot going on to it. It's just some loopholes, a couple openings for the floors, more stairs. I got up here and it kind of had a kind of strange, trying to get it so you could really use the windows, and having half slab there you'd hit your head, but this works pretty well actually having that. And then you get all the way up to the top, and you gotta take a ladder, and here you are up on top of the watchtower, and we have our flagpole with which I guess is now the nation's colors, is the orange and blue. And you can see pretty far. You can see to the far extent over there, and you can't really see all the way out that way. But, you know, it's pretty good. You can see my sheet pan over there. Pretty happy with how the tower came out. I don't know if I gave you guys a good look at it yet from outside. But it kind of really breaks up how squat fort is. So I really like it. One more thing, we've been over here is I did put a bunch of work into the officers' quarters. I know last time I left you guys, we were working on the maps. And I set it up this way. We'll have a 3x3 here, which is most of the southwest of the city, and over here is the north of the city, and actually all of the desert is on one of these maps. So anywhere that's expanded will still be on one of these 14 maps. Can I count? 15 maps. But I was worried about if you update the map in the real world, like if you update an area, whether or not it updates on the map. But when I log in, it seems to refresh them, so I think I don't have to worry about that. I came up with a sort of an idea for a corner lamp there, and I really wanted to use some nether brick in as a part of a couch. I'm breaking it up there. Some jungle wood for a table. Put up some stuff. The commander's set of golden armor, of course, that's because what kind of guy the commander is, and even his special named Demon Banish Smite 4 Fire Aspect 2 sword. So he's kind of a eccentric guy, I guess. And we got an ender chest here because I wanted one in the fort somewhere. So this is the commander's quarters, and that's really what I've been up to mostly on the fort so far. Not a whole lot more to go. Filling in chests, and then doing the mess hall, and making the NCO's quarters look more lived in. I have been just recently working on the prison, so I'm going to take a look at that. And this is very recently, just the last couple hours I've been working on that. So we're going to have 3 prison cells that are multiple, like 2-person cells. And then down at the back we're going to have a couple solitary ones. And that's the majority of the prison, really. This way I'm going to have another portal that's going to go in, because I want another portal at this part of the city. I wanted to put it deep so they wouldn't hear it, but it's really not that deep. So most likely standing here in the center of the fort, you're gonna hear it because it's right here. So that's where we've been working so far in the fort. I'm not really sure what I want to work on today on camera. It was I just recently realized that it was Tuesday and I should probably work on an episode so that we can I can put it up for Wednesday. So might as well just work here on the prison cells. What I've been doing is, since there's going to be a 3 gap before the ceiling under here, I've just been filling it in with cobble, since I have a bunch of random extra cobblestone, and I'd rather not waste all of my sandstone. And I don't think I'm going to keep all of the prison down here in sandstone. I'm just trying to, like I've been doing with the fort, just trying to you know, get complete the, whoops, that's not cobblestone. Trying to complete the part of the build before doing detail work. And I'm not sure exactly how deep I want these cells to be. I'm figuring enough for 2 beds and a space. So might not be much deeper than this. Oh, and there's definitely a cave under here. It's going to add to the ominousness of the prison, I'm sure. You're going to have to listen to the sound of the another portal the whole time. I'm going to go make a couple beds and see what it looks like. I need a couple beds and some doors. But, so it's Tuesday. I've been trying to think what's going on since I made the last episode on Sunday. Really, not a lot. It's been super cold around here. and rainy and altogether not super not very nice. We ended up taking cats to the vet today, and we have two very timid cats, and neither of them enjoy going to the vet whatsoever. So it was my first chance to see them actually go and get to view their reactions to the vet. I mean, I'm running out of space. I have all these arrows. Oh. But it wasn't that bad. Got me out of the house, I guess. What do I keep doing? Boom. That's not all I wanted. But yeah, now all that's been going on. It kind of well, not that sucks. I don't like doing anything really. What I've been playing Minecraft, and I've been I got a bunch of woodworking tools in recently. A couple saws, a miter saw. I got a miter saw recently, and just got a router in today. And I'm planning to do a bunch of I have a bunch of ideas of things I want to build. I would definitely say I'm a fairly crafty kind of person. I think the term I like that my wife said one day was a serial hobbyist. So that is what I do. I do entirely. I think of myself as a jack of all trades. I do everything, and but I'm not super good at anything. Honestly, I dabble in quite a bit of things, but I'm not particularly fantastic at anything. Back in, let's say, 2005, I think it was. I had a year off from college because I was trying to figure out what major I wanted to do, and I ended up. No, that's not what it was. What major I wanted to do? I was doing engineering for a while, mechanical engineering, and while I really like physics and math, and I don't like math. That's the thing. I liked physics. I didn't like math at all, and so I wonder if that doesn't like legitimately look like I want it to, unfortunately. I may do that. Oh, you know what would be good if I put a cauldron in there and fill it with water. None of these builds I do are ever cheap. A lot of iron. I'm running out of iron. But yeah, 2005, I had a year off from school, kind of, and how deep was this room? I had a year off, and all I did really was, well, there was a number of things I did. I, at the time, was very heavy into the martial art of Aikido, if anyone knows what that is. The name of it translates into basically the way of energy and harmony. It's a soft style based on I guess you could say an ancient or a fairly old style of Japanese martial arts called Daito Ryu Aiki Jujutsu, and it was an old And basically what it was, or what it is, because it still exists, is a, when, what's the best way to describe it? The old original, like, samurai martial arts of just killing each other, were, you know, all arts of war, and one of the said arts was for when a samurai lost his sword or something and just had to go hand to hand. So there's a whole series of different combat styles. Jiu-jitsu, the Japanese version, not like jiu-jitsu, the Brazilian one, was like, I guess you could say it's like a broad term for a lot of those kinds of styles, where eventually over time the martial arts where it ends in jiu-jitsu, like jiu-jitsu, the art of basically this Jiu is like suppleness, the art of suppleness, and then you have kenjutsu, the art of the sword, iaijutsu, the art of drawing the sword, what's it, seijutsu, I think, is the art of the spear. Was it kyujutsu? Would be the art of the bow. Those are the ancient martial arts that were derived from samurai clans, which each would have their own schools of martial arts, needing their own, had their own styles of, so they, when they went to war, so they could, kill the enemy efficiently, and their style wouldn't be known, so everything was in, it was in the family basically, or in school, and hopefully it won out on someone else's version. And then as time went on, and Japanese martial arts took on a more philosophical role, under like not the daimyo, but the what am I thinking of? Under Tokugawa Ieyasu, basically all the country was unified, and there weren't really these big wars anymore. So martial arts got a whole lot more philosophical, and a lot of these martial arts transitioned to switching the jutsu on the back of the name to do, which means way. And so you'd have kendo, which we think of today as a sport martial art, which is the way of the sword, and then you'd have iaido, the way of drawing the sword, judo, I'm sure you've heard of judo, the way of suppleness, and all of the other ones, even ninjutsu, the art of, I can't really remember what nin stands for, but you never really got nindo, but you did, there are things like, that's one that really didn't change, but you do have ninjutsu, and you have ninpo. It wouldn't really be, it's not near at all like the equivalent of a do kind of martial art. But getting back to what I was talking about, there was one style called Aiki Jujutsu, Daito Ryu Aiki Jujutsu, and it was basically an old style of jujutsu based on every movement. If you had to fight an opponent and you had you had no sword to kill him with or anything else, you could break him and kill him fairly easily. In my travels, I have come across people who practiced this style. It's a really cool place. Anybody who lives out in San Luis Obispo, that's where I used to live and train. There's a Daito Ryu dojo near there. It's out in the forest, and unless you know the right people to ask about it, or you maybe find it on the internet, but you have to you had to go looking. It's really cool because you drive up this like almost, I think it's, I don't know if it's dirt. I'm pretty sure it's a dirt road out into this forest, and you just, there's nothing except for this dojo. A couple dudes back there practicing an ancient art, maiming people and killing them. But the founder of this martial arts, Aikido, which is a fairly, I guess you would say it's a younger martial art because it was only devised in the late 1800s, early 19th, late 19th century. The founder died. The founder died like in the 70s, 80s maybe. He was pretty old, but he didn't like how all the movements in the martial art had to incorporate hurting people or even killing them in the end, and he modified them all so that the martial art transitioned from a hard style, which is, you would think of a hard style as punches and kicks and hard throws, to a soft style, something like Tai Chi, where you take someone, you would take the momentum of someone else and turn it against them. It's a good way to put it, I think. But okay, getting there. But he took all these techniques and made it so that you could do them pretty much without hurting anybody, and if you train correctly, you should never really get hurt. And it's the reason why it's kind of popular with older people and stuff, because it's not as hard in the joints. It was very I don't like the argument of one martial art being suitable for combat or just defensive or not. I think it's always subjective on the person practicing them, honestly, and whether or not that's going to happen. You could have, you never know. You could have somebody who's trained in the martial art their entire lives and not be able to, take on a mugger or something. Or you could have someone who has practiced their entire life and accidentally murder someone they think is a mugger. It's not really a discussion worth having here. But I used to do it because I was in high school, and I got into Aikido because I used to do Kendo when I was in high school, and I moved to go to college, and need more beds. I moved to go to college, and no, you would. Yeah, I moved to go to college, and there was no Kendo places nearby, and I thought Aikido was really similar because they wore similar clothes. Turned out I was pretty wrong. Even though I have the hakama, which is the traditional pleated pants, they look almost like a dress, and heavy gi and stuff. It turned out that wasn't what people wore doing Aikido unless they were black belts. So I never got to wear that doing it. But it turned out I really enjoyed it. It did a lot for me, actually. It helped balance out my life quite a bit. And getting further back in what I was talking about a while ago, when I was I took a year off, and that was one of the big things I did for a long time. All I did was that, and I played video games, and I worked out really hard, and I did woodworking for a while, I guess if you could call it that. These aren't ready to go. I used to make bokens, which are a wooden swords that you would use in various martial arts to use them. Maybe I won't put a cauldron in there. You know what I should do? Just put a bucket of water. There's your toilet. Maybe. No, it just doesn't look as right. But Yeah, I used to make boken out of hardwoods. That was actually really fun. Once you learn how to, um, you know, all I did was kind of reverse engineer one, and then I started making my own patterns and collecting different hardwoods. I was luckily in a location where there was a decent hardwood dealer, and I would go and just pick out some random woods that were hard and then make them. I would use a hand plane, a couple hand planes. I'd use a little saw just to get the rough shape, and then oh gosh, I keep using the wrong thing. That's what happens when I talk in riddles. I get confused with what I'm doing. I would just saw them and then use the hand plane to shape them and call it a day. I knew I was doing something wrong here. But yeah, that was a lot of fun. I made some really nice ones. I was actually getting good at it for a while, and people were asking me to make them for them, but I never ended up selling any. I even made made one based off of I'm trying to think what they're called. It's been so long since I did anything like that. Even martial arts. I did Aikido for 5 years, and then I went to schools and switched school. I switched schools, and I had a problem with finding a place that really fit me, and I had a lot of time where I didn't do it, and so now it's been almost 5 years since I had any serious training. There was a place around here, but it's not the same style to me. I didn't enjoy doing it, and yeah, what was I? But I made a really long boken. It's oh, what the hell? This room is not the same size. But I based it off of a style of sword that they're mostly ceremonial, but they're really long. Basically, they're really long katanas. I think I want to say it was almost 2 meters long, if not longer than that. I made out of wood. I keep it not here. It's at my parents' house. That was fun to make. These prison cells, you know, these are the I want to say the oh, you know what? Yeah, that's fine. These are the what is it called? Where you're isolated. So they don't get any lights, and they don't get a bed or toilet. They get to stew in their own juices. So what I'm going to do is get a couple cauldrons down here and clean this up. What else? I wanted to break up the pattern in the wall a bit. I'll probably do that on the other side too. I was thinking of putting doors here, but I think I'm just going to keep it open for now at least. I mean, I wanted to put in like a hidden door here, like a piston door, but I don't have the space for it. The one I'm thinking of, a 3x3, there, I would need quite a bit more space to do it, and that's not really necessary. Yeah, so I've been getting back into woodworking and getting a lot more tools than I used to have, and I've been meaning to. I want to start making a whole lot of different stuff. If any of you have been watching my Okami HD Let's Play, one of the characters in there, Susanoo, has this wooden sword. It's like a wooden greatsword. But one of my goals is to be able to construct something like that. Not for function, but for just to just to look cool, just to be cool, something like that. Anyway, we've reached our end of the allotted time that I put forth for each of these episodes. Because I've had people tell me that 30 minutes is too long for something, and I was like, well, it's kind of like a TV show, so you know, this is how I do it. It's episodic, 30 minutes. When I started doing LPs, I was doing long ones, like an hour, and that was a bad idea, just because it's even harder on me having good recording in an hour. 30 minutes is fine, I think. It feels like sometimes it's rushed, and sometimes we get a lot done. So, thanks for watching. If you have any ideas for anything on the fort, let me know. Hopefully what I'm going to do is work on the mess hall and the NCO's quarters here in the next day or so, and work on the prison some more, and also get the nether portal put in, and then I want this place to be the minimum amount of light necessary so that mobs don't spawn, or just a low amount. I want it to be kind of dark and dingy. I might work. I'm thinking about working on a different color, doing something. I'm gonna do something in here that breaks up this a little bit. Maybe we'll see. But I'm gonna work on prison, work on some more of the fort, and next episode hopefully we'll come back and the fort will be, hoping maybe it'll be about 99% complete, and we can call this one good. So stay tuned, and hopefully we'll be done with this. I'll see you next time. Take care.